can call episode now. Episode 11.
11, yes.
Episode 11. Ke current bust. Ke na le house page to Miss P. Ke bona o ikwetse Miss P.
Wow. It sounds nice actually.
I don't like it running. Ke bona Miss P.
Then we changed to Dr. P.
Yeah, no, very soon.
Yes.
Yeah, no.
Yes.
Should I say welcome or are you going to welcome me?
Must I welcome you?
Yes, please.
No, but it's your show. Welcome to the crime busting episode.
Mm-hmm.
We are on episode number 11, and with me I have Kenneth.
Yes.
Manyamula.
Yes.
The one and only.
Yeah.
Yes. Welcome, my friend.
I know, Caleb. Well,
Yes.
not always behind the screen. I can write the screen if I'm on key. So he the mogul.
That's it to the only psychologist. Relax.
Oh, yes.
Take a deep breath, in and out. We relax, we take it easy, and we're just going to have fun. Let's go.
Okay. Good law, like mental health.
Yes.
Yeah, that's all about break it down mental health.
Yeah.
So that we really understand the person. Mental health is something said on I'm not familiar with this thing mental health. What I did was a woman.
Okay.
It was about how they
Hey. Nice one.
yeah, and then it was a Makua, it was a me. Mental health.
It's very interesting the way you say it. Why is it again? So it has to do with feelings, see, because it has to do with feelings,
Yes.
and then I can ask that question to say, don't men have feelings as well? Are they robots? Are they automated? Are they not human? I remember mental health, before psychology really gained popularity. Previously, when it started, it was really for white people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think African people we had our own ways of dealing with things. We had our own ways of navigating through challenges that we are experiencing. But then mental health, it covers everybody, for as long as you have feelings, for as long as you have a brain to think, for as long as you are alive.
Yeah.
Mental health issues do affect you. And even, let me tell you, more so for men than women.
Eh?
It's just that men don't talk and they hide it.
Okay.
Yeah. You know why we are saying it's more women than men? It's because women tend to be more vocal.
Yeah.
And they will be quick to admit if they need assistance or if things are too heavy for them.
Yes.
So they will not shy away from what they are experiencing, and you find that in most cases they are the ones who get admitted into psychiatric institutions because they own up to their feelings.
Yeah. Men
suffer in silence. So we are still struggling with that macho mentality, to say tigers don't cry. So as a man, you are not allowed to be emotional. You're not allowed to be in touch with your feelings. If you are, then society labels you as weak.
It's weak, yeah.
And then that is very unfortunate, because I think a weak person is somebody who will not reach out for help. That's a weak person. Because it means you are bottling everything up, And then once you start to bottle things up, that is where you become dangerous, not only to yourself, not only to society, but to the whole world.
Okay.
Over dangerous. Because you are bottling, you are bottling things up, you are becoming indifferent, you are becoming somebody that you won't be able to identify with. Because authority look how and how they will change every day as you keep suppressing them. They'll change personality how, they change temperament how, they change the way you are and the way you would usually deal with challenges. So women voice out their feelings, they own up, they get admitted into institutions, they get help, That is why we see the high stats in terms of admission, because that's where we get the stats from.
Yeah.
To say women, suffer more from mental illness or mental health issues than men, is because they go forward and they say they need help. Men will just sit at home until they explode or until they engage in behaviors that are really destructive to themselves and to those around them.
Mental health.
Yeah, it's a serious issue. It's more serious than you think, because it's one of the leading causes of gender-based violence. Yeah, so we can't run away from it. Everything revolves around a person's feelings. Everything revolves around what you are thinking. Let's take a practical example. You are going to buy a car. What will make you to choose that specific car as compared to another car? It's because of your feelings, I get.
Yeah.
It's your feelings. Your feelings are attached to that car. It excites you, it makes you happy. Maybe it boosts your ego, or whatever the case may be. You can't run away from it. Every decision that is taken in life, there are emotional connotations to it, there is emotional meanings, there is psychological interpretation. You can't do anything. That is why we are saying that the mind is the engine of your body.
Okay.
Can you function without thinking?
So how, if the mind is the engine of the body, so it means your engine needs to be serviced?
It has to be serviced. It has to be serviced. And you service it by going to therapy if you need to. You service it by taking care of yourself. Take regular breaks. Self-care, declutter. You service it by talking about your problems. How experience stress? Stress is normal.
Yeah.
We all go through stress. It is normal, but it becomes abnormal now where it continuously happens to you. You are under stressful situations and you are not dealing with them, because stress that is not dealt with, it aggravates and it becomes depression, or it becomes mental illness. Yeah, so it starts hanyani and then yahola until you have a diagnosable mental illness. So you service your mind by talking about your emotions. You service your mind by having regular self-checks and self-care. You service your mind by declutter your mind. You service your mind by having a good night's rest. Sleep.
Yeah, that's why make one because I think one a better sleep than as a normal.
What makes you think so? Why is that?
Stress is easy.
Stress is saying,
Obvious. Remember the nice one.
Yeah.
Really providers.
Yeah.
And if you can provide to the level when are you satisfied as a person, not to the level of anyone else.
Yeah.
Because level higher in life.
Yeah,
So you work very hard towards that level. And it's taking long, it's frustrating. Kurwa you put say each and every night, what can I do better tomorrow? Where am I going to get my next meal for my house? Keep improve as a person. Each and every day of your life. How do you deal with it?
which is fair enough. Which is fair enough. But I think the main problem begins when you start comparing your life to somebody else's life.
Yeah.
Tshwane.
Yeah.
Why is it when I did call malapa halikan? Malapa halikan and malapa Tshwane. And sometimes they have the basic needs. But then because why is it peer pressure I go school fair. Look at Melbourne eating. Look how higher eating where you are staying. Even within your family, look at peer pressure. So you're always comparing yourself with somebody else. You always want to do better than somebody else. You know? And it will cause you stress. If you have the basics, if you have a roof over your head, if you have a car that you can manage and maintain, a car that suits your pocket, you are working, you know, you are able to pay your bond, you are able to pay school fees. You have clothes on your back. Like, let's be basic. Was stressed because I also know do la 5 room, you got double stove.
But nature is part.
But that's where the problem is.
I guess problem we want to improve our lives.
Yes.
And then it's very stressful when the process how to improve. It's not easy. Understand that. So you think about you know economy affect. Ona ora nekera kama bona ke mafela khwedi nekera kama bona 1000 rand ke maketse ke kra 200 units like those things are really stressing
and they last you a week beke fela
oh I understand and salary in this state o wetse o reka mabone 1000 rand or it will last at least 3 weeks to a month and then no ke 2 weeks. The next 2 weeks, what's going to happen? You need to make a plan because of salary if you clear our what you understand about difficulty for declutter our minds.
You know, as people, you need to reevaluate your life. Stress will always be there. You know, and what you are saying is very valid. You know, you get whatever amount you are getting every month, and you need to make sure it sustains you the whole month. You cut costs where you have to, where you can. You have to. I get the salary, however, and you cannot live beyond your means. But then we find when people want to live beyond their means. When you go into a family house, over you say wherever. Every Friday. Marwa is over. Tell it the always worry. Don't realize the whole month. Marwa every week. On your entertainment. Can you not cut down on entertainment? Why is over that 1,000 rand Yamabone, really 200 units, it lasts. It's not gonna last you the whole month. Why is also late? Why don't you cut somewhere? There's always somewhere.
Mara ke means ya ho phela the whole month. Ke phela ka X amount.
Right? Which is aligned to your salary, I guess. Yes. That is why I also, it's advisable not to also focus on one stream of income. The Bible also says that. You know, don't put all your eggs in one basket. The Bible also says, you know, you must have multiple streams of income. Because if someone who we do at least balance. Mara, if you look at our lives, if you look into our lives, many times we want to live beyond our means. Many times, as you say, okay, it's human nature that you want to improve yourself, no problem.
Exactly.
But there's a time for everything. And maybe it's time for us as human beings to do things the other way around. Why are you focusing on material things first? Why are you focusing on the outside? Why don't you start with you inside first? Why don't you improve your spirit first? Improve your spirit first. Improve your mental health. Not from outside
inside out.
So we need to start, we need to reprioritize. We need to realign our lives. Instead of you wanting to improve on your finances, improve on your spirituality first.
How our partners they are contributing to our mental health?
In what way?
Every Friday. Maybe can try that, you know. And then some we see the out, it becomes a problem. Come her relationship. So when it was stressful for him, that thing, because of now you can't, Mara, because of this person who created this life. You must maintain something. Say don't worry, you used to do it before the expense of the feta you means.
Are you with a partner or are you with a child?
It's a partner.
You see,
behave like a child.
That's the difference, because I think you should have those challenges with a child.
Okay.
A child would throw a tantrum.
Yeah.
A partner is a partner.
Okay.
It's somebody who must partner with you. That is why you need to be together.
Yes.
You know, it's good to be together. It's good to have a partner. So that when one falls, the other one is able to pick them up.
Okay.
So now if you have a partner that cannot adjust to the changes in the relationship, my question is, how compatible are you? Things do not end wrong. Things start wrong. How in the beginning? No some money or money, and then you just overlooked that. Compatibility is very important.
Yeah, maybe because you no afford nakwe. No, I get nakwe start.
And our
responsibilities.
And then when you go impress, I guess.
Wait to Rena, especially Rena Wana. We impress and partners are Rena. Kids kicking number one priority.
Okay.
Omega show or sharp.
Yeah.
Wow, understand?
Yeah.
Yeah, but at the moment the priorities they change.
But then a partner that you are compatible with, when things change, will they not understand the situation? Because you are in a partnership.
In a perfect world.
It's no longer about this person. That's why I get it. Is it a partner or is it a child? Is it a partner or is it a child? Is it a partner or is it a child? Because a child will throw tantrums. So you have a partner that does not understand and throws tantrums.
Yeah.
It's a big challenge. It's a big challenge. And that is where now it also goes to the mental health issues. Personality issues. To say, personality I'm talking and
are we able to work around personality? Or we get negative?
Well, there's no absolution in life.
Yeah.
Personality tends to be stable. So once a person gets to the age of 18, your personality sort of like stays the same.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I change.
So if you have to change, no, there's nothing we can't say it cannot change. But it takes more effort to change those personality traits. They don't already undesirable.
Okay.
Yeah, you need that effort, you need that commitment, you need that the willpower to change yourself, and it needs a lot of therapy as well. Alright? You can change, yes. Difficult? Yes, it is difficult. Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. But personality issues, they contribute a lot in relationships. Hence, it is very important for anybody. Go for compatibility assessment. You don't think about such things.
Yeah.
But they are so important, you know, to find out what personality makeup is my person. Because once you find the personality makeup, then you will know what weakness I am to. One is 1, 2, 3, 4. One maybe that personality makeup or those personality traits, they predispose them to anger than many people. So you need to know. And then so this is how I need to manage or mitigate the situation. But then if you go into a relationship blindly, you know, in a fantasy world, because we fantasize a lot. You know, people don't live the reality of the relationship.
No, I can marry love is blind. Love is blind. So that's why Retsena blind. Because of Retsena got feelings. Retsena got what in a relationship. Wow, and no one had you know what. The way I
but they know how to manage Motaha. Love is beautiful. Love is beautiful. And it corrects the wrongs, you know. Even there's a code that says, this person loves me beyond, he makes my mistakes seem so right because of love. Love can be so beautiful. But then we fantasize about relationships. And then when we decide, because that fantasy, yeah, so I get maybe we want to do warning signs, Mara, you still fantasize on it. We can live happily ever after. Mara,
yeah.
It can be after a few months, depending on your personality. It can be years. Mara, and then how come all up? And then maybe we need to touch a bit on the issue of personality makeup. You know, there are actually 3 different kinds of personalities that contribute a lot towards gender-based violence.
Yeah.
The first one is a narcissistic personality.
Yes.
I know. You know
that one.
Hey, and it's so sad because but randomly
narcissist.
Yeah,
what are the characteristics?
Hey.
So
everybody's a narcissist these days. Hey, the men, they are all narcissists. When you don't do the right things or what we expect you are a narcissist. It's so sad. You know, but we see what the narcissistic personality traits is not only restricted to men. There are women who are also narcissistic. Just to lay the foundation. A narcissist is somebody who has great self-love. Beyond anybody else. A narcissist is somebody that sees the world revolving around them. So they must benefit from everything. Even in a relationship, it's about them first. It's a narcissist. They have an overinflated sense of self. They think they're so important. And then the person wants you to treat them as such. A narcissist is also somebody who's very charming. They are very charming. Very narcissist. They are very, very charming. But then they are also manipulative. Yeah. So emotionally and otherwise, they would be seen as people who just want to take from other people for their own pleasure, without considering the other person. So be it love, everything's about them. Happiness is about them. Love is about them. You know, there's a partner that will speed because unoba better than you. On both sexes, males and females. But then everything the narcissist wants to shine. A narcissist wants to overdo everybody. Look at miracle. You know, you shine, you everybody. In a relationship, the same. Over abusive. Because now you are treating the other person in a way that is hurtful to them. But unfortunately, a narcissist won't see that. They won't see it. That is why the society ends up saying, well, they are very toxic. And every relationship is a narcissist. because you are so toxic. How want to omwe, you know, and they have this perfectionist mentality. You know, they have to be perfect. I always say that when I do coaching or when I do interventions in organizations, to say, you know what, a narcissist leader is a very good leader because that's somebody who will perform. Yeah, they will give you the results because I want to anybody. So narcissistic traits, I think we all have those traits to some degree, but then there are extreme cases.
Yeah.
And then we find what a narcissist, whether they will do anything to protect their ego.
Yeah.
That is why you find, if you go to correctional centers and then you go and interview men who have committed GBV or even murdered their intimate partners, you find out there's narcissism there. You know, their ego was threatened. And to protect their ego, they'll do anything to protect the ego. You know, you don't touch ego, you're a narcissist. So narcissism is one of those personality traits that are very dangerous and unfortunately, and they like to bring people down. You know, they don't really appreciate their partner. You know, whenever two change a hairstyle, you don't why is a straight bag. Straight bag, you know, why just to bring the person down. And
something says better. Can't do
but I get you can't just take one incident. Sometimes relationship
yes.
you have to coach each other. You must be proud of somebody that you're with.
Yeah.
I get it. But then when you are doing it in extreme and when you are doing it also in other areas of your life, it becomes a problem. And a narcissist also wants to control. They want to control everything. They want to control. They even control, you know, in extreme cases, they would even control what the partner eats. You know, in extreme cases. You know, so it's all about them. And it can put a lot of pressure on the partner that you're with because your partner now needs to be perfect because they're representing you. You don't want anybody to say, hey, can I get what can I and then it injures your ego. So a narcissistic personality is quite prevalent in GBV cases. An antisocial personality traits, I don't want to say disorder, also we see it contributing a lot to GBV. So it's narcissism, it's antisocial personality. And how do you know when you are with somebody with antisocial personality traits? You will find where they are emotionally cut off. You know, there are some people who cannot accept love. Ne? They can't. They can't. How they were raised, they were not given that love. They don't have the resource to carry the love or the affection that you want to give them.
Yeah.
So every time you try to love them, every time you try to nurture them and pour into them, they will push you away. And when they push you away, that is the time they are becoming abusive towards you. And especially emotional abuse in an antisocial person. Antisocial person, a narcissist and a borderline, which is another personality that I will touch on. They are sort of like similar because they emotionally they are cut off. You know, a person with an antisocial personality will hurt you and then they will still not see it. It's all right, it is. They don't see it.
It seems like these people, they don't realize the damage. Because I because this is because I'm on change, the person that I am.
Yeah. Bona in their own mind. They are giving you all they can. They don't see a reason why you complain. No complaining. Why are you complaining? They can't see things from the other person's perspective. That is where the abuse comes in. Where you find that emotionally you are draining your partner. Every day. Because in your mind, in a person with antisocial traits, you don't see manuri. Like genuinely they don't see it. Genuinely they don't feel another person's pain. It's like where it is. And they are master liars, ne? They are great liars. But the lying also goes with intelligence. They are very intelligent. Very intelligent. They are very intelligent. So you find that it's even difficult to reason. The great philosophers, they are very intelligent, very, manipulative, because everything has to be about them. So they will hurt you emotionally, they will hurt you spiritually, they will hurt you physically without feeling any remorse. Or emotionally, they are cut off. They are completely cut off. There are some relationships where you feel maybe you are aware of the past, the traumas, and then it's love. What is love? Let me love the person correctly.
Yeah.
You can't get it right. You will never get it right. So you will keep on pouring into this person, and then the more you pour, is the more when you are becoming drained, because they are not pouring anything back. So until eventually you become drained, when you detach emotionally as well. So an antisocial person is quite dangerous because they are also very quick to engage in gender-based violence and other irresponsible behaviors, because they don't care about another person's emotions.
And difficult to reconciling.
They don't even admit.
Yeah.
They don't even see.
Yeah, because again, like you believe our right. How come put our problem? The problems are not start on a more unique counseling, because when now one of the characteristics is in as a system. Now I believe in myself so much. For the sharper than self-love, content man, that thing. When now because you don't know what you want.
That's how they feel.
The problem is simple, and then we said who counseling, one needs to volunteer to go for counseling. So mutobi have volunteer, anya go ya counseling, we say ena ha le right ke partner wa morato. What's the problem?
It's a big problem. Mara, if you had gone through the compatibility assessment, you would know. No, you would know. Because that is what the compatibility assessment does. It will show you only narcissistic traits or antisocial traits. Where now as a partner that wants to do life with this person, are you willing? Because as you say...
But we agree to life is blind. And I had a trauma. We are blinded.
By what?
Because by love. Remember our feelings in the tomo, they're overpowered. Okay. You can't think straight.
Yes, sure.
Understand? Yeah. So wait till they move to a snapper. Let's say that face. Oh no, I man, wait maybe a sharp. Oh, maybe excuse.
Hey, where is the result of the
excuse? Maybe I was sharp.
Yeah.
Because of the first phase of relationship, the honeymoon phase. After honeymoon phase, that's why I remember before Konyal, This no go changes because the honeymoon phase is gone. Now we come a very serious relationship, and then we're gonna make how I want to accept because it can every day. Go here, we are going to
when I get you,
Go on to you what's
you know, in all the years that I've been practicing as a psychologist, I would say 90%, if not more, you know, of people who come for help due to GBV issues, they tell you, it was there. The signs were there. Even in the honeymoon phase, the signs were there.
Yes. You're right.
They are there. Where now you just chose because you create your own ideal partner.
Yeah.
I can one hour to eat some to create a picture or a Rolls Royce. I want to honeymoon phase. You are living in fantasy. So after the honeymoon phase, which is I would say is a fantasy period where everything is hunky dory. You know, I they complain. The honeymoon phase, high fella, that is where now you admit to reality. That's where you see reality. The traits that the sciences that are on the honeymoon stages, that is where now you start to admit it. Or that is where now you allow yourself to face the reality that is there in front of you. Not when it was not there. It was there. You were just convincing yourself. Otherwise, Mara, it was there. So after the honeymoon stage, that is where now you start to face reality. That is where you start to see things for how they are. And remember, or after the honeymoon phase, I mean, you would have done most of the things that you want to do as a couple.
Yes.
You know, whatever your intention was, you know, when you got involved with this person. If your intention was just to sleep with a person, you would have done it already. So now you can see clearly now. And then as you say, unfortunately, maybe the honeymoon stage, azangla wala ya le counseling, azangla wala ba prepared, la nyala bano har makhabuleha le face reality you start to get. Le saini.
Hey, mathata manchi. Ndata mo ona lo bolela wezi le nyalo ba re ngere sign 5 years. After 5 years re tsama re lo renew. Re mo ke mo mamba tsone ba. Re mo ke mo mamba le ba renew. Yeah, because that problem in most of the relationship. This partner, as a partner unna kimiti. As a partner and already says build the family you know, a very rare naman for the sake of bad.
And they do stay in that unhealthy environment. And then remember after honeymoon, he said, you know, I mean, how much is it? You don't make the effort. Come on, you can't it is why in some cases the appearance change. In the beginning, you were people who were physically conscious, they are gymming, you know, you look good. You know, you used to wear makeup. Mara once when I lived in Yano wireless. Kina mama nyamula no, you know, no makeup, no eyebrows, no eyelashes. Woman wireless, I don't know.
I go fit lemon on your way.
Why what?
We take the time.
Why what? It take you to one something yaga. I will not get her, but happy. And I keep off it. But not she about you. So she's not. You know, but then I would really encourage people who find themselves in that situation or in that position to always seek help. It's not too late.
Yeah.
To seek help is not. It's never too late to start over. And unfortunately, as you rightfully said it, for counseling is voluntary because first Mutu oki narcissist, mutu o unale antisocial personality, or mutu oki borderline. Borderline ki another personality inale especially in relationships. Don't expect the person to change. So how you therapy? Know you're going to therapy for yourself. Not for mutu change. So you're going to therapy so that if you want to stay in the relationship, you can find ways of coping with toxicity.
Yes.
Or you find ways of living.
So like it's a bit.
Yeah. Mara horo to change ngwana batho. Motloele ke narcissist khala tsa diso. Ene horona awa cheka halithoma. Well, it is what it is.
All right. Auspicious. Na bona ke bona irjile. Ne ke nyaka gore batho ba go kry kae. Ba no gore ba o tlotlo bonore they are facing the very same problem of the more the relationship in some water or more manyalong.
Yeah.
Baka crack so that so they get help.
Yeah.
I thought mental health is not for us. Now I understand and in service. So how do you say
well, I think that the easiest way and the quickest way, we are based in Pretoria. So for Honayano, we are still in Pretoria. So we do have the in-person contact sessions if you prefer. We can also do online sessions. So if you need to get hold of us, this is our number, 072-971-1324. 072-971-1324. The easiest, we will call you back. Just send us a message or send us a WhatsApp and we will definitely call you back. So that is how you can get hold of us. Thank you so much.
All right, so modality online counseling?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we do have.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right. Can I professional?
Yes.
Are you a motor or one month or when I got to Savatu or when I go on who will let Naman Kawana and connect Ogare Okolo to Sava to a one but one so she's a professional who studies psychology. So if you need the professional help, she's there to assist at the cost.
Minimal cost.
Yeah.
Not too much, but not too much.
Asma Lamara. Go through this channel, you'll never know. Because of Nale and our speech, maybe I will invite our counselor life or more and have a conversation. Who would say the real questions? Because not even a flow by our counseling or learning. Because it's a counseling the good rogare moto and kisses a more regular side. A little hamara fit or like I can't get up at the
and I think maybe that's the fear of
exactly.
Yeah.
Grandma, Masana counseling. If you have a great little Masadi,
hey, Opadi,
the
gang up discussing the again. And it's unfortunately, but then counseling is not like that.
It's not like that.
And a therapist, it doesn't take sides.
Yeah.
You know, they are there to assist you. It's not about taking sides.
Yeah.
It's about dealing with a problem and assisting that couple to navigate through the challenges that they are experiencing.
Okay. All right, guys. Thank you. We are done with episode number 11. See you on the next episode 12. Episode 12.
Episode 12, we're gonna be talking about intimacy issues.
Yep.
Because yes, I'm about to
Yeah.
So we're gonna talk about intimacy. You know, you can't have a relationship without intimacy. So intimacy is very important. But why? Why?
We are tired. Next week.
Intimacy issues. We unpack it.
It's a red.
We're done.